So, greetings. This is Lowell Ann, your regular host. And this morning, I want to just remind everybody that we do work from a set of operating principles, which you can find on the page of my website. And those operating principles were developed by the people who have participated here. Some of them are things that I've added, and some of them are things that they have added. So, just in line with some of the ideas that we decided to incorporate. Boy, oh boy, what's going on with my webcam this morning? Weird. So, in line with that, I will give a very short introduction of everybody to give us time to do what we want to do. So, and this time I'm doing it by alphabetically. So, I want to introduce Alana. She is in Ireland, and she supports businesses by creating and maintaining their websites. And there is David Flannery. He's in Illinois, and he creates affordable websites for small businesses. And there is Fred Jones, and he is in British Columbia, sometimes in Victoria. He's now out there in Souk. So he facilitates leadership and community building for youth. And I don't think Jay is here, so we'll skip Jay. Javita is here, and she's from Mumbai in India. And she teaches and promotes yoga and Reiki, both in person and online. And I'm just trying to scroll down a little further here. And Nancy, you're going to talk a little bit more about yourself later, but Nancy's also in Victoria and British Columbia, and she guides people toward being pain-free through Qigong, counseling, and Usana health products. And let's see, Vivek is here from the UK, and he simplifies life and business by unifying different technologies and developing software. And I was going to introduce myself. I'm just checking to see whether I've got everybody who's here. And I'm in BC, and I coach retirees who want to create an online business. So that's the end of our introductions. If anybody comes later, they don't get an introduction. An incentive to come early. So this morning I asked Nancy quite some time ago if she would come on and do something. And part of this is, of course, there are a number of us here that are interested and find the whole concept of both very instructive and interesting. But the other part of it is that a lot of us have been taking a role, and my intention of doing this new approach was to give everybody an opportunity to do presentations and or interviews or whatever. I mean, that's what we're all doing here. We're supporting each other and giving each other ideas, giving each other feedback, and giving each other the opportunity and the audience to practice making presentations. And believe me, when I go back and listen to some of my first videos 5 years ago, oh my God, a complete recognition that we do need practice. So Nancy, this morning I want to welcome you here. I know that as you told us in the green room beforehand that you like to be here, but you often have clients who want this time slot for your work, and we have to serve our clients in the best way that we can. So that's we're all in the same boat in that way. So, but so I want to start us off with a question um, that some people might. I mean, you see this stuff floating around on the internet all the time, and some people may be asking, so what exactly is mindfulness? So,
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. And thank you very much for having me here today, Lolan. I'm really honored to be presenting and to be part of this panel. Um, and I love, there's one thing I really want to pull attention to, and that's you mentioned the Google, Dr. Google. And I find that Dr. Google is causes a lot of misconceptions and confusion to people.
yeah.
So let's just get things straight. Um, Mindfulness is a practice. It can become a habit. It can be a part of who you are and how you operate. And why I I teach mindfulness and meditation here in Victoria, and what I have found is we're addicted to apps, we're addicted to scrolling through Google, we're addicted to all kinds of bells and whistles that are out there to distract us. And mindfulness brings us back to this moment right here, right now.
Mhm.
So, just for an example, multitasking. Many people may be watching this right now. I'd like to encourage you to close your phones if you're not on a phone watching this, and just be here now. Just be with this now. We are so distracted. We are so busy as a rule. And mindfulness is about present moment awareness. And there's just a lovely, like Thich Nhat Hanh is a beautiful uh, Buddhist monk, if I could call him that, who has written endless books on that. And I know myself when I was going through a lot of anxiety and overwhelm, his books brought me back to my heart, to the present moment, to being here now. So I'd like to just read one little gatha, which is a word for a little poem. And you can follow along with me. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a perfect moment. And it is. And what I find, can I keep talking or do you have another question? Did that answer it? So mindfulness is just the old saying we've heard a million times, be here now, fully present in the moment. Just like when you're having a conversation with someone, if they're diverted by whatever else is going on in the room, or their phone's ringing, or their kids, or whatever, they're not present with you.
Mhm.
So it's to just be here now. And I find for a solopreneur, oh my goodness, it's so easy to get, whoa, I'm off over there. Gee, how did that happen? Today I meant to be here. And I heard a very interesting story years and years ago when I began this work, about 25 years ago. And a man said to me, you know, we're put here for a purpose. And I'm going to say for a solopreneur, like we start our day with a purpose, ideally, right? We have a purpose. And gee, it's like we're on a playing field and we know why we're there. We know what today's going to be about. But oh, there's that red ball over there. I just want to check out what that's about. And this green ball looks way better than the one I had earlier today. And there's a yellow one. And before you know it, it's 5 o'clock. And you've done a lot of nothings.
So, um, and I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you at all here, but
Maybe I'm speaking from my own experience.
Well, no, 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 no. There, where I get into conflict or where I get pulled off and all of that is my desire to be leading edge, to stay on as a solopreneur, to stay on current trends and to be leading edge and to know to be able to kind of help my clients solve a problem or to point them in the direction of something that will help them move their business forward.
Mhm.
And I mean, you and before we came live, you we had a conversation about that, and later I'm going to share something, and later I will there will be a session about it probably, but so that intention, um, which is a really good intention to
Mhm.
have as a solopreneur, can pull us away from that 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 concentration on this on the item. Now,
Well,
the other thing I would really like to raise, because I know somebody's going to raise it.
mhm.
I found something yesterday by Lao Tsung, who said those people who worry about yesterday, who are anxious, worry about yesterday. Those people who are sort of looking, whatever, you're looking at the future, and those that are looking at something where just mindfulness and paying attention to where we are right now, right. So, I mean, from a business perspective, we're often encouraged to be looking toward the future, having the vision and the goal and the whatever that is going to take us toward the future. So how do we reconcile that with being mindful and staying with our heart and who we are and where what we want to do? Have I just blown
No,
it for you?
no, you have absolutely set it up perfectly. Because, okay, we do want to be the very best and be cutting edge and to learn. And I think that is an important part of being effective in our work. We do want to offer our clients the very best and perhaps the latest, whatever it may be. But that could be your task for the day. Tuesdays may be your day to focus on your learning or to Google away like crazy. If that's your intention for the day, great. So it's not you can't do it. And what I do find, and I'm going to speak for myself, and I want to thank you very much for this topic because, oh my gosh, I learned a lot about myself and why I'm all over the map. But when you have, like, so it comes down to planning. And when you're a solopreneur, like if you're working on your own, it's challenging to not be, I'm just going to make another pot of tea. Oh, and maybe I should text my friend and maybe, blah, blah, blah. But if you have a plan, I mean, let's, like you're talking about the future. So we have, let's say, our calendar, and here's our this for things coming up. Great. In the moment, you're creating that. It's done. Then let's look at today or this week and break it down to today. What are you going to do today? Well, I'll share for you, like myself, like I have a freebie out there I had to do some work on this morning. I have this right now, thank you, and I have a client at 10:30, and after that, all my day is da 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 da. And if I stick to what I plan, I will have had a successful day. But also, it doesn't mean you don't do anything else. I mean, you incorporate it in purposefully, intentionally, a walk, a swim, a visit with a friend, whatever it might be. You can go crazy in your own little niche, go to a coffee shop with intention to do your work and maybe say hi to a couple of people. So, does that make sense? So, it's about having it planned rather than just randomly drifting. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm going to just check that out. I want to be sure I got that right. That happens too. And I want to talk about something that you touched on with the quote, which is a beautiful quote, and it's so, so
Well,
true.
I sort of goofed it up, but I think
I
I got
get
the
it though.
point
I mean, it was,
across.
no, no, I got it, and it's
Yeah.
really perfect because, okay, the past as a solopreneur, speaking for myself and my some of my clients even, when I am planning something for the future for my business or planning something for my business, which is obviously for the future, my old stories, my old tapes can start playing. That didn't work. Things may not work out for me. Oh, that idea didn't work last year. How can I make it better? Fear, fear can freeze us. Perfectionism can freeze us. And that can lead to distractions. We get uncomfortable, we get a bit squirrely, we avoid the task.
Mm-hmm.
And fear of the future in terms of will it be success? What will my friends think? What will my clients think? What will my followers think? We can get caught up all over the place with what didn't work before or did. Maybe we should do the same thing and just tweak it. But that's an old story. That's an old story. And the future, we have no control over either. But if we're here now, this is what I want to create for my people. This is what I want to speak to my client about today or offer them as a next step. Just be here now. It erases the fear, it erases the old stories, keeping us moving one step at a time, mindfully forward. So that's the gift of mindfulness for myself, and I believe for others, is to just be in the moment, do the work, do the task, do it to the best we can, letting go of the stories and drifting away from the task because it can be a little uncomfortable. It's way different than having a boss saying, "Hey, Lolan, today I want you to finish ABC and have it into me by 4 o'clock." Check, will do. We are our own bosses. So if we can honor ourselves in the same way and manage ourselves in that way, I think we'll be we will be successful. But mindfulness plays a really big part. And until I was preparing for this, I teach mindfulness. I try and I do live it, and I do my breathing to bring myself back down and in. I meditate. However, I hadn't really applied this philosophy to why I myself tend to have 10 balls in the air some days and get nowhere, absolutely nowhere fast, right? And discouraged and the self-talk and the blah blah blah. But right?
I
So
get you. I'm in there too.
right? So thank you for bringing this to my attention in terms of my business. Wang wang wang, girl, get it. So
So,
that
so Nancy, another piece, because I know you're going to move into meditation, but another piece, because you kind of implied it. Do you know when you're overwhelmed gets you and everything is rushing around, and everything gets unmanageable, and it is so easy as a solopreneur to find yourself there, and your brain is going in a thousand different directions, and you're jumping from one thing to another. Man, do I find that happens to me periodically.
mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's also like in the work that you do, Lola, and that's where, working on our own as solopreneurs, a coach can be a good thing.
Hmm.
A coach can be like our boss who can lay out the tasks. And before we meet next time, that's what I do with my clients. Okay, I'd like you to do
Yep.
ABC. When we
Yep.
talk next week, let's check in and see how you're doing with that. And some people do it, some people don't. But,
Yeah.
really, that's about all we can do as coaches.
Hmm.
Or, for myself too, I do need to touch base with somebody. I do. And maybe
Yes.
not everyone is in a position to do that or wants to do that.
Hmm.
But I think mindfulness, I know mindfulness is a very powerful
Hmm.
practice to
Hmm.
incorporate into your daily business. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I was hoping that would lead you into, okay, so what do you do personally, to like if you find that you can't stay mindful.
Oh, get outside. Get
Oh,
out of here.
okay.
Go
So,
for a walk. Meet a friend for tea. Go get your groceries, but not in a way where it's like you're right gone, but just, hey, I need a breather. What am I feeling right now? I'm feeling anxiety. I'm feeling overwhelmed.
mm-hmm,
I'm feeling lost. I'm going
mm,
nowhere fast. The best thing for me to do right now to get away from my
mm,
computer, get away from whatever it might be. And I find, I mean, I'm really blessed to live here in Victoria and everywhere. It doesn't matter where we live, we're blessed. Get outside, go for a
mm-hmm.
walk, go for a mindful walk where you're breathing consciously and you're centering and you're focusing, and leave all of that behind. Don't bring it with you because it just turns into muck. Leave it behind. So when you come back, you may have, ideally you can regroup.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Okay, let's get back to it. I used to teach. I was a teacher for 30 years for kindergartens and ones and twos, like little kids, right? And what I loved was they would be in the moment. Like they would sit down, they've got something going on, and they are on it. And it's like, oh, guys, it's recess time. Oh, no, no, I don't want to leave. So many kids have the ability to just focus in and do it without the judgment or the fear or the, you
Mm.
know,
Mm.
stories that we can get caught up in. So I think
So,
fear and perfectionism are our biggest
yeah.
challenges in our
So could we stop just in recognition of the other
yeah.
participants here? Does anybody have a comment that they feel like they want to throw in, or a question
Mhm.
they would like to pose? Because I know Nancy, you're going to talk about meditation. So
Yeah.
anybody waving or need to Javita,
Oh, she's muted.
you got to unmute Javita.
Yes. Okay, I want to ask Nancy if breathing technique can help us with mindfulness.
If which?
Breathing.
Breathing, absolutely. Breathing brings you right in. And when we do a meditation, I will demonstrate that. Your breath is your centering um, force, I guess, or a centering technique. Breathing is key, really is key. Yeah, that's an excellent question. Thank you.
Mm. There's
Thank you.
Jay. He's waving. Go ahead, Jay.
Hi. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Follow up to what Javita was saying in terms of breathing. I've heard two types of breathing, from your chest and from your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Your abdomen.
Is there one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been accused of being a chest breather, and I've been told that I should be breathing from my abdomen. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. So.
Well, that's a very good point, because in fact, when we do our meditation, and when I lead meditations in my group and with Qigong, we begin by breathing into our belly, because
Yeah.
it grounds you. It moves. So let's just say here we are, right in our heads all the time as solopreneurs doing our work. We're in our heads. And by moving the breath down into the belly, it takes the focus. It actually does move the energy, I'll say, down. It quietens things down. Shoulders can drop. You can just settle into your chair. But when we're breathing up here, we're still up here, right? And we do, I'll be honest, in Qigong, we move into our hearts, but we've started in our bellies, and then we move it up intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
But when we breathe here, also, I can get into the whole physiology around oxygenation and all of that. But we do tend to be shallow breathers. And also think about this.
Yeah.
Shoulders. So yes, that was a great question though.
Well, and I would add to that. I mean, I remember learning years ago that, and from a musical perspective, that's the first thing we get taught, is to breathe through your abdomen, and to visualize breathing, pushing your abdomen out, and then as time goes on, you visualize filling up from the bottom up. And boy, oh boy, is that ever effective to sort of get everything into perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea is with belly breathing, one of the ideas is I'm not going to get into qigong talk today because we're talking about mindfulness, but it is grounding. It moves the energy energetically. Our focus moves lower,
Mm-hmm.
and many of us, I believe, are in our heads and all. I know as an energy healer, when I'm working with people, the first thing is the energy around the head is about like this.
Yeah, phonetic energy. Yeah, absolutely.
Completely.
Do you have a video on how to breathe through your stomach? Because
I
I've
will make
tried
you
and
one.
tried. And I
I will
can't
make
do
you
it.
one, Jay. It'll go viral. You'll make sure.
Yeah, exactly. How to belly breathe, or I'll help you promote it. So, anyways,
Yeah, I can
thank
do
you.
that. That's a good. I actually, yeah, the meditation I'm going to do in a few minutes will help with
Mm-hmm.
that
Okay.
as well.
Well, unless anybody else has something they would like to ask or say, carry on.
Okay. Well, let's do a little meditation. I'll keep it short, but just I want to do a proper lead in and I want to do it justice. So I just ask you to turn off your phones. Anyway, settle in. No distractions except for just this. Just be here right now with me. So let's just begin by taking 3 gentle, deep breaths right down into your belly. You don't have to force, no need to force, just easy breaths. If you need to, put your hands on your belly to feel it expanding and contracting. Just easy, normal breathing pattern down into your belly. And then take 3 more. Now I'd like you to take a deep breath, one that lifts your chest and drops your shoulders and settles you into your chair. And now, for mindfulness meditation, we just focus on the breath, eyes open or closed. And once you've fallen into a rhythm, down into your belly, but very easily, notice where you feel the air coming into your body. You may notice it in your nostrils, your throat, your chest, your belly. Just notice without judgment. Put a gentle smile on your face as well. And now notice the pause between the inhale and the exhale. It's a moment of complete stillness. And then between the exhale and the inhale, And if we have time for one more minute, just breathe. Now take a nice deep breath, another one to lift your chest. Drop your shoulders and open your eyes. Give yourself a little. So that's basically a little taste of mindful meditation. And the breath itself is the anchor to the present moment. It's the breath that keeps you centered. Thoughts will come, just acknowledge, oh, there goes a thought, and just let it go without grabbing. But that is a wonderful centering practice, grounding practice to connect you well to your heart. It's healing, and it also can just stop all that action going on in your head. Myself in the morning, when I first get up, I make my tea, and as it's steeping, I sit down and I just breathe for 5, 10, 15, sometimes half an hour. I just purposely do that. And then I have my planner for the day. I mindfully plan my day. And then I do my gratitude journaling, joy journaling. And then I'm ready to start the day. And it's like we call it bookending. It's like the bookends that hold things together. You start with something to make it solid, so the rest is stronger. And then ideally, towards supper time, towards the end of the day, you can do it again, even for 5 minutes. Just breathe. Or if you're walking, breathe. So that's a little quick taste. But I do find it's easy to let things go. And if I do let that go, I really notice I'm not set up the way I want to be. And I don't get my phone out. I don't check the news. Like this morning, I wonder what the election is, but I didn't look till after. But yes, so thank you very much. And if you have any questions or anything at all, I'm happy to answer. And as I close, I'd also just like to mention that I do specialize in holistic chronic pain solutions. And this is one really powerful technique you can use in chronic pain because it gets you right here. And inflammation, anxiety, depression, so many things that just keeps you in the moment. And it really settles your nervous system, settles the pain. So there's that. And I did want to offer anyone who's watching, I have a mindful meditation, a breathwork meditation. I'd be happy to share with you. I think it's 3 minutes. It's short and sweet. If you would like it, hop over to my website, nancykreitz.com, and go to the contact me page and just send me a quick note. And I'd be more than happy to to send that off to you. And as well, if anyone would like to talk to me about this practice, get a little bit of support, I'm happy to offer a 30-minute conversation with you, a free 30-minute conversation. And there's a link there too to my calendar. So, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nancy. And I have to share that I have taken part in Nancy's qigong sessions and her the pre-meditation that happens, etc. But the other thing that I have done and I do on a regular basis is I mentioned that in my choir, all of our practices begin and end with that mindfulness breathing meditation.
Excellent.
And I would say for anybody just beginning, you do need somebody like Nancy to teach you how to do it. It does take practice. And as you do it more and more, you become really good at it, and then you begin to really notice the impact that it has on you. And my tradition in meditation is called Vipassana, and it's about being equanimous. It's neither good nor bad, it just is. And that's another aspect of being in the moment now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Thank
but it does take a bit of instruction, and it does take a bit of practice.
That's correct. And I am
Yeah.
teaching, as I mentioned, here in Victoria on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. at the Fairfield Community Center. I teach meditation and mindfulness. And Wednesday nights I teach Qigong. And of course, there's a meditation aspect to that as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
If anyone would be interested in a private session with me to help them establish a meditation practice or a few sessions, again, just reach out to me and I'd be happy to.
Yeah. And I will on my website where I put the notes from today, I will put a link to your website. Oh, and David has already posted a link in YouTube, but that's not going to stay there. The minute we stop recording, that's going to disappear.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
so thank you so much, Nancy. I do appreciate so much the work that you do. It is so important. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for the opportunity to share it today.
So, again, just before we close, we are a little bit over. We have a tendency to go a little bit over. Anybody have a parting comment just before I remind us all about what's going to happen next week? Anybody? I don't see anybody waving. Okay, so this will bring us to a close for today. I will do that with a reminder that it's important to do what you love with passion. And we will see you next week when Fred is going to tell us all about his travels to Portugal. So bye for now, and see you next week. So